I'm about to share a story with you that will be shocking, but somehow simultaneously not even be a surprise. So what we're looking at here is a letter that was sent from a bank to a local coin shop in Omaha, Nebraska. Now this coin shop is called Coin Huskers, and they actually have a YouTube channel, and I reached out to them after I heard about this video from my Not Coin and Bullion and asked them if they'd be okay with me sharing this story on the channel, which of course they said yes. Let's take a look at this letter. It was sent on February 3rd of 2023, and it says, "Dear David, we are writing to inform you that the above referenced account will be closed on 2/13/23. Please do not make any additional deposits. We will pay checks as long as there is sufficient collected balance in the account. If available balance will not cover the checks being presented, the checks will be returned, stamped, referred to maker until 2/13/23. After 2/13/23, the checks will be returned and stamped, account closed." So this letter was sent to them on a whim. They didn't get a phone call. They didn't know it was happening. And in fact, the owner actually said he didn't even get it or open it until February 9th. So I'm going to share with you a clip from their video. And this is actually of a phone call that he made to the bank and talked to a representative and basically was given no reason at all for them closing their account. And it's really scary to listen to. We're going to touch on that, but let's listen to the call first. But before we do, I do want to tell you, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you subscribe and help us continue to grow the channel. And additionally, check out this awesome giveaway from our sponsor, SD Bullion. They are actually giving away a full 2023 monster box of 1 ounce American Silver Eagles. If you haven't entered that giveaway yet, I'll put a link down below, or you can just go to sdbullion.com/silverseeker and get your free entry today. A huge thank you to SD Bullion for sponsoring our channel. Now let's listen to this clip. It's pretty mind-blowing, if you will.
Hi, is this?
Yes, it sure is.
Hi, this is Dave from Coin Huskers. How are you doing?
Hi there, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Well, we got a letter from you, and just trying to understand what is going on here and why we would get this.
So unfortunately, all of the only information as far as that goes is that we did receive a notification from our BSA working group to close the account down. And that's unfortunately all of the information that I have. I can try to find some further information as far as that goes, but that is the only information that they were able to give me.
Not except they'll just say, like, I'm sorry, with no to inform you that we have no reason that we're closing your account. You know what I mean?
The BSA department, they do their research. They are separate from the branch operations. I wish I had a reason, but I can tell you that department, they do their own research. They've made the decision that the account needs to be closed, and these are the time frames that they have given us. Realistically, they could have closed it same day if that's what they wanted to do.
So she says realistically they could have closed it the same day if that's what they wanted to do. He got a letter that was dated February 3rd. He didn't actually open it till February 9th, and that's totally understandable. If you're busy, you don't always open your mail the same day that it comes in. Maybe you don't even check your mailbox the same day. And not to mention it takes a day probably to get from the post office to your shop. So he was given a 10-day notice through the mail, wasn't called, wasn't notified any other way, didn't open the letter until then. The letter specifically states that if a check tries to get processed after the 13th, that will be marked as account closed. They ask him not to deposit any more money. I mean, this is a business that is dealing in gold and silver, and obviously he's going to be writing a lot of checks. So there could be checks out there to customers that are going to get cashed, that are going to say account closed. That's going to look really, really poor on their business. Let's finish the rest of the conversation, the call with Dave from Coin Huskers and the bank. And I'm not going to release the bank's name in this video, but again, I will put a link for their video down below if you want to see the whole story on their channel. But let's listen to the rest of the call.
But they've given this 10-day time frame, and I don't unfortunately have the authority to say, okay, we can keep it open 30 days. It's established by that department. And you can research BSA online to find out what exactly the things are that they do and that they look for. But it is out of my hands.
I understand that. So but again, we got to have BSA. There's got to be a member that can contact you and give you a reason.
There is not.
So he can't even get in contact with the department that decided to close their account. They won't give him a reason for doing so. They won't say anything other than that your account is closed, and she doesn't know why, other than she was told that they had to close his account, and he's not allowed to even talk to someone from the department that decided that his account was too risky to remain open.
It's an internal department that looks at different things, different risks, and they have made that choice and not given us a choice in the matter. So, unfortunately, all I have for you is that it's going to close on the date stated in the letter.
Okay. Just so you know, I'm gonna be putting out a video, and I'm gonna be letting a lot of people know. We've got a lot of people that are already concerned about how banks can just close your account and take your money. So thank you. This is a great example that we're going to use.
Okay, so there's a lot that she kept talking about there, and BSA was something, their BSA department, which stands for Banking Secrecy Act. Now, we can Google that and take a look at what it is, but basically it's the government requiring financial institutions to track money laundering. And this bank clearly thought that this legitimate business who just buys and sells coins, gold, and silver was too risky to have an account there. And I'm sure they were moving a lot of money in and out, a lot of cash. And that's because, like I said earlier in the video, coin shops are cash businesses. And they do write a lot of checks, of course, because you don't want to keep a whole lot of cash in your shop and give someone a reason to come in and take it from you by force. So they don't keep enough cash for all of their transactions, but they do a lot of cash. And so if someone comes in and wants to buy a bunch of gold or silver and they want to spend $8,000, $9,000, or who knows, even $10,000 or more, and having to fill out that federal form, that's regardless, so I guess the argument I have here is that, the bank could have asked him to provide information about their anti-money laundering programs, because businesses like that are required to have an AML on file, which is basically the rules that they follow. For example, making sure they get ID from everyone, making sure that they fill the proper forms if so much cash is used, things like that. The bank could have asked if he had all that in order, but instead they didn't even talk to him. They didn't ask him any questions. They just had a department look at it and say, hey, he's moving a lot of cash. This is too risky for us. Let's close it down. Even though this is a legitimate established business that has a physical retail location and they buy and sell gold and silver. That's what they do. It's very common for a lot of cash to be moved in and out of a business like that. So I think what's really scary to me is that banks have the power to just on a whim decide that you are too risky to do business with. So if you move a lot of money in and out of your account, they may just on a whim close your account and say, look, you can't bank with us anymore. And that's really unfortunate, because we live in a society that is going more cashless every single day. I'm sure a lot of you know that we can walk into a lot of places that don't even accept cash anymore. A lot of theme parks all use credit cards. You don't even get the chance to use cash, even if you had it on you. And we're continuing to go into a society like that, which is really unfortunate, because I have said 1,000 times, and I'll say it again, even though I believe in gold and silver, and you should absolutely have gold and silver on hand, you should also keep cash. I mean, not money in the bank account. I mean, physical, hard cash that you have in case you need it for an emergency. Because a lot of these places that don't take cash also don't, it's not really emergency places, right? If your car breaks down, I guarantee you your mechanic's going to take cash. You get what I'm saying? So cash is very important to keep on hand, just in case. And keep in mind, me and you, we're not going to probably ever experience this in our life. I'm not trying to make a whole, scare you into thinking that you should get all of your money out of the bank account, because banks are super important because of what I just said. Being able to write checks and use your card depending on where you're going or what you're buying is very important to everyday life. So I'm not arguing that that's not important, but I do think it's incredibly important that you keep cash on hand for those emergencies. And gold and silver obviously also fit in with that as well. But this was really more about this coin shop losing their account with basically no reason whatsoever. And not even being able to get in contact with someone from that department is really disappointing as well. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed the video. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave a comment down below. And do me a favor, don't forget to hit the like button. That really helps YouTube spread this out to others so they can see this as well. We can get this message out there as much as possible. If you haven't done so yet, don't forget to subscribe. And I'm going to put a video up here. This is my interview with my Not Coin and Bullion. If you haven't seen that video yet, go check it out right now. It was awesome. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.